Look, I got about hour and change on this. If you're watching this on YouTube, yes, I know I'm out of focus and the microphone is there. I don't want you to pay attention to the video because I'm about to say a lot of things that are going to it's going to feel like I'm rambling, but if you've watched my previous video, I need days off from capitalism, you know how deep I'm about to get. So, shut the fuck up with the booze, hop in the whip, we're going to take a ride. I have not streamed nor made content for the last about week and a half. A large part of that is that I like to run a universe mode playable league with my chatters known as the TWA, Twilight Wrestling Authority, Twilight Wrestling Association, whatever the fuck we're calling it. And in WWE 2K25, I wanted to use mods to enhance the experience because we've been doing a lot in 2K23. And as much as I like it, and there was never any real problems with it, I could even go back to it if I wanted to. I thought the upgrade would give us a little bit more of a honest view at what I was looking for as far as presentation is concerned. I've always considered myself a good promo maker. That's just one aspect of it. I don't know shit about running a fucking wrestling show outside of universe mode and hopefully people buying tickets. I sell tickets to my shows. I don't sell tickets to other events. Anyway, you might say at the beginning of this, what the fuck this got to do with anything? I'm going to start this off the same way I started off the last one. I need days off from capitalism. At first, I stopped streaming for a little bit because it was like, I think I deserve a break. I have a chatter in here who donated 100 subs for me to play a game till a certain level. And I'm unable to do that because now I'm getting backed up further and further. And I'm like, no, 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 I have to do that. I should just make that a priority. But the views, the attention span, doing it for one chatter. I don't have a community full of people who are throwing hundreds here, 50s here. I'm watching other streamers getting, whoa, thank you for the 100 gifted subs and moving on. Everything came to a fucking screeching halt this week. And for the first time in a long time, I had shit to do with it. I didn't have shit to do with it. It's not a personal thing. It's the government. They pay attention to the capitalism thing. We're talking about the events of the last week or so. If you're watching this, this was recorded on July 5th. So whatever happened between here and June 30th. Dog, June 30th was this Monday. June 30th was this Monday. It feels like it was 6 years ago. So I'm sitting here modding this game and I'm learning about hash IDs. I'm learning about Blender for the first time. And usually you think, I use Cinema 4D. This Blender shit should be easy to me. I'm learning about positioning, lighting, rigging, creating arenas from just an empty file to a working WrestleMania 41 production. These are where your light stands go. These are where your props go for this. This is where your thing go for that. So I'm getting absorbed in it. But around me, I'm not one to stray away from things that are happening, things that are, existing, because I like to blend what I consider to be the after school experience into whatever I'm hoping to impart onto an audience to help them feel a little bit better about, damn, it feel like common sense ain't so common anymore. Scratch that. Why are people playing in black people's faces? Why are people playing in minorities' faces? I'm supposed to go to work. I'm supposed to do then this is now we're heading in deeper into the topic. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be paying my bills, this, that, and the other. I got people I know getting their family members snatched up by ICE and messaging me, among other people that we know, can you help? Now I can sit here and cover every news story. I had the time, my partner was taking a couple days off of work. I wanted her to relax, but she wouldn't have minded if I streamed. I could have spent the last week chopping it up, going through everything that my chat's been sending me, my community's been sending me, people outside the community who fuck with me. So I guess my IRL community, but those are just my friends. I don't call people who are my friends a community. I'm not the center of attention here. And I'm watching it all happen. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so when I make my return to streaming, the first thing I gotta do is debut this wrestling thing. Can't do that because as of today, there was a fucking flood, some natural disaster in Texas, and we're using FEMA funds instead of helping them out. We're using FEMA funds to build detention centers, concentration camps in the open. Then we're making memes about it. Then the White House is reposting those memes. Hey, MILF, your theme song is I Fell. Darby Allin's theme song in the game. I'm just letting you know that now. The reason why I'm telling you that instead of letting you witness it for the first time ever is because the odds are is that the majority of this stream is going to be this rant alone tomorrow. Guaranteed. I've already set it up. I got to do the laundry. I'm going to take a nap. And then my partner worked 5 to 12, and we're debuting the wrestling, all the mods, all the shit that I did, all the entrances, move sets, everything, all getting debuted tomorrow. It's already set up. The first card is ready to go. All I got to do is launch the game. Anyway, so I'm thinking about this split between everything that I'm supposed to be, everything that I was raised from, and everything I'm witnessing right now in the world, and it feel like everybody's just not congruent with this fucking like line of thought, and it's making me think about how I present the news to people and how I'm supposed to be able to parse through this, that, and the other to give you some type of honest truth. And I'm telling you right now, it feels like my soul is fucking broken. I don't know what I'm doing this for anymore. And I really mean that. Like, I like the idea of the YouTube, I pop on the computer, make a video, chop it up, edit it, drop it once a week. But when you get time to yourself and this shit is not distracting and you can't use a news story here or a news story there for entertainment, that shit really gets to you when you seeing the effects of it and people ignoring it. I told y'all before I had a friend of mine, had a friend. What the fuck is that nigga's name? Jay Banger Beats. Talking about why don't these people just come in legally? I came here legally. I went through the process in vets. And I'm like, you was a fucking anchor, baby. You can't close the door with a name as fucking Panamanian as yours. Niggas love being the outside of the world and the attention and these dick beaters, bro. And these dick beaters. So it's like breaking my antithesis of reasoning to continue doing this any further. Dog, I watch people with 50,000 viewers get 100 gift subs and just move on. And just move on. And I'm like, damn, you're so you're so disconnected from the world that we're in, even though that's what you do for a living. You're so disconnected from the world that we're in that somebody could drop a honey bomb on you and you could just pass that shit by. I started smoking pens, bro. This is a 2 gram cart with two different flavors, two different sides of it. And you can have both at the same time if you're feeling froggy. I like to do one at a time. You might be wondering what the fuck that got to do with anything. I can only find joy in small shit now because I've been conditioned and trained to watch my fucking father die. And now there's a level within me that says, if his social security gets hit, if his Medicaid gets hit, if my health insurance gets hit, I literally cannot help him. I cannot move back there because me moving back there I can't even get I can't even get paid to do that shit to help him. So now I'm in both sides of the fucking, and I'm watching people. I'm watching these discussions go on and on and on and on and on and on. AI is destroying the world. The floods, the heat, the global temperature, shitty ass songs being dropped, Drake trying to come back. I'm watching people destroy the world, and I'm gonna be real with you. The capitalist in me was like, yo, I love my community, but there's no fucking bread here. And what the fuck do I look like asking niggas? The fuck do I look like asking niggas for money? Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my Twitch channel. I can't do shit no more. And every time I get to this point where I want to spend an hour just going through all the shit that I've been, dog, peep the bullshit. Yeah, I'm aware that the focus is now coming onto my face. I don't know why. You still shouldn't watch this video. You should just listen to it. There's nothing visually interesting unless you like me taking polls or you want to, smoke with me. I got you. Sponsor block. Mark this area as a. Hey, we got some sponsors here. Speaking of sponsors, let's talk about NordVPN. Now, hopefully, sponsor block hits that area and it skips over, and you're like, "What the fuck happened?" I'm just saying. I took a little tip from internet comment etiquette. That was a good video. I can't do shit. I'm sitting here loving the modding. I'm part of the community now. I got Patreons, people gifting me subs, people like, oh, you really learned everything real quick. Oh shit. People sending me this, that, and the other. A new community I'm a part of. It's beautiful. But I gotta display it somewhere. I can't just play it by myself and be like, oh, that was cool. I love watching AI on AI matches by myself. Everybody want a distraction. Everybody want this out of you. Everybody want that out of you. People still climbing the fucking ladder of Twitch. And like I'm sitting there like, okay, so this is no longer a merit-based thing. People like Nux Taku are just gonna continue to be. People like Mudahar, Asmongold, they're just gonna continue to be. Dog, there's a Love Island nigga who just got kicked off the island. I'm a big XQC fan. This nigga know everything. Nigga know Destiny. Nigga know the game. And you still acting like that in public? Come on, man. Even if I wanted to escape the realm that I was born in, I'm on my Bane shit right now. If you were molded by the darkness. I was born in it, molded by it. By the time you encountered it, the light was blinding. Whatever. I've done fucked up the meme, even though I got a good Bane. You merely adopted the dog. Dog, like when I think about the corrosion of me being able to express regret, I can't even say that because if I was in a different world, if let's say I decided to leave home and go to college, get a degree in the place that I was planning to get a degree at, and go into the field that I was planning to go into, this shit would still hurt. I couldn't imagine myself making enough money to pretend that the shit that they doing out there is not affecting me here. I don't know how much money, how many outings, how many nightcaps, how many clubs. In my Discord, My brother just told me my godson turned 12. I was holding that nigga when he was born. I can't even express regret because there's no time for regret. Your landlord don't give a fuck. Your landlord don't give a fuck if you regretting, if you feeling lost. Where's my money? I feel like I'm on a live action Goodfellas. Fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. And it eats at me. It eats at me for no reason other than I see my students, my former students, fighting the good fight. I asked to be invited to their graduation. No response from the admin. Oh, you know why? Because they're graduating to go to Columbia University. And what the fuck is going on at Columbia University right now? So, any one of them teachers, any one of them people, look up my social media. Ah, he's anti Israel. Ah, he's with the protesters. We can't have that. I literally can't win the game. I got boxed out of the game and then people like what's that nigga's name? I'm gonna say his name so wrong. But there's a current music star that you're all aware of that is literally getting blacklisted from almost Earth for being pro Palestine. What sacrifices am I making that look or feel like that when I don't have that much? So when I take up the good fight, I'm still playing with loose change. Them niggas out there is we stacks 10K stacks. A nigga like that lose a 10K stack, he's like, I gotta go back to the bank and get another one. Made somebody's day lucky. For me, that would be game changing money. Pay my dad's debt off, pay my partner's debt off, and I still probably got like 5 G's left. These niggas piss more money than I would need. Capitalism overrides all that shit. Capitalism overrides all that shit. To the point where, as I'm having this conversation with you, at some point or another, I'm going to have to start bringing up real world events. At some point or another, you will tune out of this naturally because it feels like it is a gushing pour of anguish and pain. You are not here on YouTube usually to find those things. You are not here on Twitch usually to find those things. You don't care. And it's not that you, the person listening right now as of recording this, or the person watching right now as of viewing this as of its release, don't care. The collective you, the audience, will not gravitate away from Mr. Beast to watch this. Will not gravitate away from Jacksepticeye to watch this. Will not gravitate away from Lil Bill and FD Signifier to watch this. Because at some point or another, even when I've had those people in my space, there's still a level of realism that they don't want to approach, they don't want to reach, they don't want to touch because it's not safe for their brand. Capitalism. But if I was a nigga hanging out with you in your neighborhood and I was like, yo, I'm bringing about a pen, we just gonna press this and get fucking smoked. Oh yeah, we can get deep. How you kids doing? How you feeling? How's it really going? You okay with getting older? How's the older feeling? You can't do the sprints as much as you want anymore. Like how's that feeling? Can't say that shit online because nobody give a fuck unless you've got an established audience. If you don't have an established audience yet, you're probably not gonna get it because most of the niggas that are gonna watch you, who are gonna invest their time into you, is about to get fucking deported. Is about to get fucking locked up in concentration camps. Oh, you thought I couldn't spin that back, right? A week, oh, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. where I get to focus on what I want to do and set up everything for this stream. And when I come back, you know what's going to happen? The same silence. Because the people who watch me aren't like the people who watch XQC, Aiden Ross, Kai Sinat. They're not watching Asmongold for W racism, W this, L that. They're not impressionable kids. They got lives. They stop here because they know it's about to get real. Okay, can the real make money? That's the test. Can I afford to take a week off and see if I still make enough money to get a Twitch payment? Well, here's the test. Everything is a test. Everything is a requirement. Everything is a blend between the artistry and the amount that it'll give you. And everybody, whether you are not one of those people or not, everybody views their importance and where they are based on what everyone else is doing. I thought about this extremely hard when I saw an article that said Zoran Mandami is wrong. We need more billionaires, not less. How? Calculate that shit for me. If if money is locked down under a finite source, how would somebody else accumulating $1 billion work? Now, if you say, "Oh, he gonna take $1 billion from Jeff Bezos, become a billionaire," okay, then Jeff Bezos can make 10 billionaires. Let that nigga do that then. Not happening, right? Wonder why. Wonder why giving away your money gives you better press and makes people more willing to spend money and buy on your products, but you won't do that. It must be a greed factor. There's got to be something that's unexplainable at some point, right? How do I raise my kids to follow in those footsteps as the earth is literally burning? When we catch that flood, when we catch that flood, and your house gotta sit underneath 2 inches of water because you can't afford to move. So you're like, you know what? Instead of us like moving, it's only 2 inches of water. It sucks. Our rugs are gonna be soaked for a little bit, but the government paying to clean that part up and whatever. We're just gonna raise everything on the bottom floor by 2 inches. We'll make like a little platform deck and we'll just slide it into the house. And it'll be like an extra step to get in. And then inside that platform, we can have a little drainage module so the water can always pour out. Since the water has risen to 2 inches or 2 centimeters, I should say. 2 centimeters inside our house. 2 inches is crazy. Then that same person who's trying to raise their kids in a world that don't exist no more will hop on the Twitch with their 2 kids yelling in their ear, talking about, "Where's lunch? Where's lunch? Where's lunch?" And you know what the first thing they're gonna hear is? Me. Me saying, "Hey, if you want to support the stream, spend $5.99." Everything's an ad. Everything's an ad. Dog, I would be fine if I made no money but had 25,000 people here. But you know you can't have 25,000 people here and not be making no money. Why are those two things not why are those things not intangible? Sorry, that's the wrong word. Why are those things connected? I haven't streamed in almost a week and a half. I come back and I'm still in the same mode that I was in. I'm spitting faster. Explain to me where I'm supposed to learn a craft to do this well, to make it worth people spending their money on it so I could go do other things. Why me? You might say it could be anybody. Okay, let's take a look at the field. Oh, DDG, Aiden Ross, Neon, Nux Taku, Mudahar, Asmongold, XQC, Kai Sinat, Drewski. A lot of people with a lot of issues. A lot of people with a lot of issues. And you know what's crazy? I made this joke and I was holding off for exactly 25 minutes. We're still not even post COVID. Remember that. remember that, like, at the core bottom of everything is still the underlying changing event fucking up everything. Last year, no, sorry, like 2, 3 years ago, one of my friends came in here, as I said, as we're living in a post COVID world, and he typed in, "We not even post." And I just went off about that. We not even post! We're still not even post! So now I'd have to retread all that ground just to include that one detail, which makes me think about the people around me who have died. And then there goes the details again. I'm supposed to stuff the grief in a box, get a job, shut the fuck up about it. Be happy you got your money. Okay, I got me a little jobby job. All right, I got me a little jobby job. So I can afford to take a few days off here. I can afford to take a few days off here. Here and there, sorry. I don't have to make money on Twitch online every day. I can spend some time building something to reveal to my audience, as I've always wanted to do. Come back here, my viewership drops because you ain't been online in a while, bro. We didn't expect you to be online. Oh, man. Looks like I can't take time out to build shit for you because at that point in time, you gotta get I'm on Twitch. I'm already wired in, bro. What you mean you taking time off? I'm wired in. I need my content now. I don't view you as a human being. Not because I don't think of you as a human being. I actually like you, Paradigm. Everyone else ain't a human being. They a machine. So I'm gonna get it from the machine. So now I gotta view everybody's relationship with me in the small community as a possible exploitation to get to a larger community. But when somebody like a chatter in my community named the Sacrificial MILF come up and try to go to other communities, be like, yo, you gotta check this out. Oh, you only in here because you want to support another streamer. You never in here for me. You don't care about what I gotta say. And I'm spinning my heels thinking about, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. When are they having you back? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Since we're here and you asked that question, let me put the chat window on the screen. This is a live recording, by the way. So with live recordings, I'm gonna make it clear that these will not be edited in any way. So when you see these things happen in real time, it's because I want you to experience my thought process as I literally experience it in real time. I guess you could have the video up now. I haven't even been able to cover. I haven't even been able to cover Mamdani's glorious campaign because it is literally mirroring the things I said in a video about how I wanted to run for mayor. I ended up with a fucked up white woman who ended up being the leader, the ringleader of more fucked up white people, Zico and Sanchez and the Unfuck America tour. Turns out they're having another date in July, and guess who's headlining it? Destiny. So I literally explained how culling the field of everyone who could possibly have an interest in wanting to speak about this shit will end up with one of them three. Remember the song I put out? Avoid the orbiters, the ones who circle but don't land. You either become a DV or Hassan fan. And it still to this day breaks me, dog. It breaks me, dog. It breaks me because it's like, let's take a look at the chat that made me even think about this. When is the leftist mafia having me back? The day I went on that show, most of that chat in these comments, I focused on the negatives because I was like really pondering like what the fuck are you talking about? But most of them comments were like, yo, this he needs to be a full-time guest. Everywhere I go, they say that shit, and it literally pulls me out of the orbit. They see that and they're like, nah, he's threatening. He's threatening the bread. We can't have this guy on all the time. And then, like, when I say that out loud, people imbue it with I need days off from capitalism. Being on the leftist mafia and Hassan raiding at that one time should have been perfect. Oh, everybody from Hassan's community is watching me rap. Niggas is gonna come over. Yo, Hassan, you gotta meet this dude. It's lit. Nothing. Nothing. But the nigga who shits on me all the time, Sean the Black, mentioned his name in Hassan's chat. W. Sean, yeah. W. Grumlow, yeah. W. Maybe it's me. I did notice more POC as guests on LM ever since you went on there. That's not the first time I've heard that. I remember talking, matter of fact, Dylan, since Dylan rolled up in here, thought I wasn't going to stand on business. Again, there's no beef with me and Dylan. I don't know. I just say what I say. Mad people noticing now. Wait a minute. Yeah, why are y'all talking about this? Paradigm is right. I've never heard anybody. Why are we bringing this up? What does this have to do with anything? CM Punk. Every time they ask the question, I change the culture. Because I have to put my entire foot into it because everything else has to fall in place for a black man to get anywhere in this world. That's why I say all the time, yo, chat, tell me if I'm bugging. Am I wilding here? Am I wrong about this? Push back on me. But they don't push back on me. Most people don't push back on what I say because I don't talk out of turn. I don't talk about things I don't understand. I don't talk about things that I haven't already dipped my whole two legs into, wading in the pool for at least 5 years before I start rapping about it. I remember yet again another thing about capitalism that's going to kill me. Showing my chat, showing my community the notes I used to take in world history and during college courses. I remember that wholeheartedly. And one of the first things I was writing about was the Arab Spring, the uprisings, and how that led to the formation of a conversation between me and Israel and Palestine. On my own. On my own, 14 years ago, I was touching this door. And I will tell you, I didn't give a fuck about it. I just liked information. Okay, you're a normal person, you're a little nerd, you like information. Fast forward, the main arguments are between the Zionist Ethan Klein, who, by the way, speaking of the which, hello, I'm gonna say this out loud so everybody can clip it real fucking fast. Ethan Klein's lawyer is a wanted criminal in Malaysia, currently running from federal charges of the government in the United States of America, in Los Angeles, California, representing Ethan Klein. Hello, Malaysian government. Come pick that bitch up. Be- if I was to even fathom making moves like some of these people do, but they get money from it. Now, you might say Ethan Klein is bleeding money. I don't give a fuck. That nigga got a wife, for whatever it's worth. Maybe if a wife gave you some time off the net, maybe some head. Anyway, you got kids. You got your own mansion, house, vacations, a team of people who work with you. If I even fathomed making a move like that, I'd be crucified. I'd be crucified. They would never let it go till I killed myself. Let's be real. They trying to get Casey Tron, Denims, and Frogan to off themselves right now for the mere crime of responding to a mention in a video by another YouTube creator. I hate that Hassan brought this up because as much as I like Hassan and the idea of Hassan, I know you wasn't in the trenches when you was in Jersey doing college shit. All right, I was your age. I am your age. Like I was there. He brought up a point that needs to be expounded upon. Back in the day, you could not get away with lying like you do now. Creators would bomb your shit. Like multiple creators across different realms would all start to focus on you and be like, yo, why are you doing what you're doing? Shut the fuck up now. We're going to remove you from the internet. This was literally the circle that existed into Twitter in 2011, 2012. People used to wait on their Blackberry BBMs for a response from Twitter texting you. The responses from big stars saying shit. Everybody's losing at the same time the wrong niggas is winning. And they're being proven wrong and still winning. Why? Because capitalism. You can see why I need a day off from it, right? You can see why now I've made 2 videos saying I need days off from capitalism. I don't even know if I need days off from capitalism anymore. Maybe I need days off from colonialism. Maybe I need days off from imperialism. Maybe I need days off from every fucking complex that gets built. ISIS getting $175 billion to wrap up and start detaining immigrants. We did that familiarity one time before. When we made the slave patrol. People ask me a few times in conversations when I bring this up, just link me to an event that would help me make understand this because what you're saying sounds a little abstract. Okay, sure. Why are the largest police budgets in the United States on both ends of the country? Texas has a big police budget. Why do we focus on California, the LAPD, and New York, the NYPD? You know that the NYPD is trained by Israel. Do niggas move? Why is it that the biggest police forces known to man in the United States are on both ends of the country? When you look at it that way, it feels pretty easy to notice, right? Why doesn't Milwaukee have a strong police force? Why doesn't Illinois have a strong police force? Chicago PD ain't popping like that. And then I'm still supposed to trust people. I'm still supposed to believe. That's not to say that I don't have beautiful things in my life. I just told you at the beginning of this that I've been modding this game. I got entrances, I got people's cool outfits, attires, this, that, and the other. It all looks super cool. And then, like, I don't even look at people's feeds anymore. Because once you start finding out how much fake shit y'all be posting, the W's y'all be posting, but I'm supposed to pretend that I can communicate the political vices that exist in the United States and also somehow make an audience doing something different. I still remember that shit. Uh, 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 Keeping up with the Joneses. He loved Jimmy. I know that. My niggas speak lead, they think of a pistol. Your niggas speak lead, they think of a pencil. And then, like, my empathy goes out to people who are about to be affected by this big, beautiful bill that's passing. I have no power to control the realm of anybody outside of my community. Everyone in my community knows it's bad. That ends the conversation right there. The weirdos who come into my chat can't handle scrutiny. They say some weird shit, then say, oh, it's all you low IQ people, get banned. No push, no pull. Everyone here is not fucking stupid. And that's been a thing that I've said throughout this piece and let alone all the other pieces. How am I supposed to ask people who know what's going on to sub to me, to donate money to me so I can survive? They need to survive. They're about to lose their health care possibly. But you got oilers and juices in your chat that spend time. You got 8, 9, 10 niggas in there that'll give you 1,000 subs. 1 month of 1,000 subs would launch me for the rest of the whole year. I wouldn't even need to think about asking for subs anymore. I could let that shit drop to 0 after I get 1,000. I'd be good for the rest of the year. Them niggas need to keep it going. Them niggas need to make this a full time job. Them niggas need to be the ones there. So now I gotta continue doing this while continuing to make music, while continuing to make my mods and do my shit for WWE, while continuing to test out these new games, while continuing to be a photo editor, while continuing to shoot weddings, while continuing to be a video editor, while continuing to make content for everybody, while continuing to spread my name around the community so I can make content for them to get my name out. I gotta continuously do all of this. So I do that for years on end. And do you know what my entire career amounts to? The time somebody mentions me on their stream, on their channel, in their tweet, in their Instagram post, and whatever they decide to say is all my legacy lives up to. I had a nigga say to his entire chat that my mayoral run, I looked him up, he was never mayor. And I wanted to throw up right then and there because I'm like, no fucking shit, brother. I live in New York City. I explained the whole story with Zico and Sanchez and how I was robbed of a campaign. I explained how Eric Adams and Andrew Yang literally looted the New York City political fund, matching donations 8-1, robbed it blindly. He's facing corruption charges for the thing I said. He was never mayor though, and that's all it is. Close that book, close that chapter. Wow, he's just lying? No, he's not, but the person who's telling you that he's lying doesn't know the whole story. So they're working off their emotions, and now I'll have to pull you back from the trenches, pull you back from the deep. You're gonna have to open the gate. Meanwhile, I'm doing all this shit, and people are tagging me in their discords. People are tagging me in posts. People are tagging me over here, there, everywhere. People are doing this. People are saying that. But they don't got no urge to come here and focus on me. They just like me in their communities. Good, keep it that way. That's the way it should be. However, now as a content creator, I gotta focus on, hey man, while we're here, I got a Twitch channel if you wanna go watch it. I need days off from capitalism. I got people who have wanted to and have met me IRL. First thing I say to them, when it get to a point where I know somebody personally off the internet, yo, thank you for trusting me because I know men out here will really chop a bitch up. I'm so dead ass. I've met one of the grandest relationships I've had thus far. Trans woman. First thing I said, yo, thank you, because you don't know what I could be outside of this. You don't know what I could be outside of this. Because I know what exists out there. Now we go through the points of proving, okay, we're personal, I've let you meet my friends, blah, 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 whatever. You don't seem to have any skeletons in your closet. Let's get closer. Nothing happens. All right, I could trust you fully. I know you said I could trust you fully, but I could trust you fully now. Cool. Cool. All right. All right. Can you do that with everybody? No. Okay, so I'm an anomaly still. But imagine I was making bread. Imagine I was making bread, bro. They trust rich people to be scumbags. They trust poor people to do fucked up shit. When you exist in the middle, it just get weird. Cause you get stuck in that limbo. So now you have to say it out loud to reaffirm that it's real. People take that as a brag. People take that as a, oh, you're just using that. Oh, you're just saying that. And it's like, no, I live by those codes. You just might not know that, so I keep restating it so you always know that. There's nobody who's come out with no stories about me. There's nobody who's come out with no this, that. It's just all been lies. Nothing grounded in reality. Nothing grounded in reality. So you're like, okay, why are people weird towards legitimacy? Because it threatens everything that they sit on. It threatens everything that they stand for. Because once you put a person like me in the room, going back to that comment about when I'll be on the leftist mafia again, that's a great point. How you do so good, but they ain't invite you back. But I've noticed they've had more POC on. Because once you start showing that you got some skills, you can communicate on a level of a person who's already garnered an audience that threatens things. Oh, that's not why we did it. Well, externally, probably not, but internally, there is no other reason. Why would you deny someone the ability to communicate to an audience extremely well when that's what you do? If we're doing the same thing, then it's something about how I do that thing that makes you feel like Oh no, that's not real at all. We just never got back to. You see how once you get to a point where you understand underneath surface level shit, you can start assigning actions and motives to people's desires by simply watching them just do things. But when I got my first 30 viewers, when I first got my first raid, what was the first thing I did on record? And it's happened every time since then. I get over a certain amount. Yeah, we looking for one of my people that have been struggling to get an audience. Yeah, we looking for one of them people that I've been following for 4 or 5 years. I'm giving them the look. Whichever one of y'all want to chill and stay with them, cool. But we making them feel good because they've been there for me. We're in the same boat. I happen to get a little bit ahead. First person I'm looking at is you, and you. I can get the door open. It's up to you to walk through it. However, now we all trying to get through the door and nobody want to open that shit. Capitalism. It can't be personality because you can't be threatened by what is better than you, excels at you. You would want to learn off that. Old story. Y'all remember Daniel Pewter had a shoot fight with Kurt Angle on SmackDown. Put him in a Kimura lock, could have broke his arm. Ref had to count the pin real quick. How dare you shoot wrestle me? We gonna get you them receipts. Got his receipts, got his ass beat, left the WWE. I get it, you a good wrestler, but you went about it the wrong way. Even though that's what I asked you to do. Why do you think these situations only apply to me? There are people who have millions of dollars who have been through entertainment of all forms. I was gonna go through like sports, commentating, this, that, entertainment as a whole, who have these same stories. Comedians who steal jokes. We both big niggas. We both big niggas, bro. We both big niggas, bro. Doesn't matter. Because you know that I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I think that it is very important for us to focus on unionization and community. Like, you should already be there. We are way past the, it's time to shift our focus to the things that matter most. My dad's memory is slowly burning at both ends of the candle. His time is coming soon. The next day, I gotta be right back here. Because Valkyrie could have a death in her family. Promise you her stock going up when she make a return. Pokimane stock going up on a Tuesday. Me, however, take a week off, you might as well put a bullet in your brain. Who's coming back for you? Who know you? Now you might say we came back for you. That's exactly the point I was bringing up earlier. The capitalistic thing. I see y'all support. This ain't never been about the people who are locked in. The problem is that this is what we're at. This is the height of it. Why? Not because of you, but because of how things work. I've been saying that from day one. I never ever look at people as a product of their own machinations. There's something around you that is teaching you to do this because that same thing that's around me is telling me not to do that. You can get sucked up by it. It's fine. But when I come around, when the man comes around, you sit down, you sit down, you sit down, sit the fuck down. You sit. I'm trying to get this shit to focus on my. You sit down, and you focus. Sit down, and you focus. sit there like, this is not your fight. This is not your fight. I gotta tighten so much shit up here, man. I can't find the fucking Allen wrench anymore. There we go. Fuck it, we'll just do it like that from now on. And they gonna tell you over and over and over and over and over again. It do not fucking matter how you present this to an audience. Cause once you go on too long, I'm done. Alright. I hear you, my nigga. I hear the points you making. Don't really fucking matter to me, but I hear you. You gonna go on and show the WWE thing at some point. You gonna go on and play music at some point. You gonna go on and do something that's not politically aligned at some point. I'm out. And I gotta accept that. I gotta accept that. I don't have to accept it from people who don't. It's crazy. These niggas know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about too. I got friends of mine liking my post, and I'm like, they know exactly who I'm talking about too. It's never about the sour grapes. People will start to ask over time, and it's already been happening. Why aren't you a part of this? You would do so much better. You would add so much to this. Not because we glazing you, we seen you do it. No opportunity. No opportunity. No opportunity at all. But that's on them. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that being on them. And eventually, at some point, a lot of the shit that's happening IRL will stop us from being able to focus on what we're doing online. It breaks you. The wear and tear of being able to balance not being terribly online, still holding communication, still holding friends. It breaks you. It breaks you because you start wondering, like, what the fuck is going on that somehow I'm able to keep up the same energy. And it makes me feel useless. It makes me feel useless. Andrew Yang giving away my X earnings to somebody who likes this post. Everything falls apart. Falls apart. And it's going to keep falling apart as long as we keep not focusing on the important things that could help bridge that gap. And we have to bridge that gap now. And I don't understand how we're supposed to move forward anymore. The point of I need days off of capitalism, that's why I timed them out. Um, the reason why I called it this is because I feel like removing the financial incentive would give things, it would give people so much. Shel Silverstein, um, Toni Morrison. It's because I feel like there's just a missing Achebe. Like I just, oh my god. I'm asked to view the world as safe. I'm asked to view the world as true. I'm asked to view. And then people will naturally attach to wanting to shit on people. People will twist every story to defend the people that they like. People will just keep doing this shit. And then when you try to build that same thing, somehow somehow you're just supposed to keep going. And so you know what my final point is to you? I'm gonna keep going. Cause to this day, I'm gonna carry that I'm the best in the world. And that's the bottom line. Cause Paradigm said so.